I've used Create to make some seriously insane builds in my hardcore world. The only problem is all those builds use a ton of iron and I basically have none left. So to fix that, I'm going to build a factory with a massive iron generator inside that makes over 6,000 iron an hour. But before I work on any of that, I need to do a little bit of a side project, because if I want to make a super cool build, it means I need to do a whole bunch of crafting. And pretty much everything I need to craft uses iron in some way. And unfortunately, I don't think the amount of iron I have in this chest right here is gonna cut it. I still can't get over the fact that I have more netherite in this chest right now than I have iron. But on a more positive note, this does give me the opportunity to test out the Fortune 4 pickaxe that I made last episode. Oh my god! Why is he just chilling out there? Okay, I need to take a side exit. We're jumping off the balcony. Of all the places a creeper could chill, right in front of the front door. As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted though, I'm gonna go do some caving with my new Fortune 4 pickaxe, see how much iron I can get, and then I'll do the crafting. Ah, home sweet home. I think it ended up being a relatively successful mining trip. I got about 4 stacks of raw iron and I need to go process that down, so that'll probably be like maybe 5 or 6 stacks of iron ingots, which should be enough for all the crafting. And I did manage to snag some pointed dripstone, which is awesome because I hadn't gotten any yet and I need it for generating lava. But that's like way down the line. For now, I just gotta dump all this stuff into the barrel up here. Oh my god, that's right though. This is still going really slow because it's using the old water wheels out there. Yeah, I think I have to fix this. I can't wait for all that to process down. It's gonna take forever. So out with the old and in with the new. Okay, well, I've successfully replicated the exact same water wheel setup I made on the other side of the base last video. Now I just need to hook it up to stuff up there and gear it up a ton. Now I just need to get it from here to here, rotation speed controller here, large cogwheel there, and 2 encased chain drives because I'm a Create expert, and then just gearbox and shafts, and that should be it. Well, that sound tells me it is in fact working up there, so now I just need to figure out how much I can crank this rotation speed controller up. And obviously I also kind of need to repair this wall, but I can do all that once I speed this up. For now, I gotta dig in here even more. So obviously this is going in the wrong direction, so I need to speed it up and reverse it. Can we do 32? Can I do 40? No, I'll stay at 32. That should be good enough. There we go. That's what I like to see. Now I just gotta wait until it finishes processing like 4 stacks of iron. Oh my god, wait, is it already done? It is done. That was so much faster than last time. Okay, this isn't too bad. It's, you know, basically 5 stacks of iron to work with, including what I've got downstairs already. I can probably make that work, I hope. But wait, let's look at something really depressing here. All these nuggets of experience. Oh my god, it's literally doing nothing. But now that this chest has been sort of replenished, it's time to do some crafting. And it's gonna be a lot, so cue the intense crafting montage. Oh, thank God I can finally do this. Just put some mending on my sandpaper, and then if I just open this and stand under here, I should be able to just keep doing this. Forget all the rest of the gear. This might actually just be the single best thing about this entire XP factory. Oh, okay. I think that's it. I am mentally drained. I had to have just been crafting for at least an hour, and it was to make every single thing in this chest right here, which I think should be enough for the build for this episode. And then it was also to stock back up my toolbox, which should be good for a pretty long time, but I might actually burn through all of this in today's episode as well, so we'll just see. And the saddest part of all is that this chest is back to basically being empty when it comes to iron. I really need to get this iron generator going, and then I'm gonna have to deal with my lack of copper. But before I can even make use of everything in here that I just spent an hour crafting, I need to find a place where I'm actually going to build the factory that the iron generator is gonna go inside. And I'm thinking I'm gonna put it somewhere like right over here so that maybe I can put a cool bridge across the water eventually. The one thing I do know though is there's a ton of trees in the area I want to build in again, and even once those are gone, the ground is not going to be flat, which means a ton of work for me. But thankfully, this is another opportunity for me to try out the efficiency 6 netherite axe, and I'm really curious to see how it does taking down this entire forest. I should have used the mechanical saw here to bring the entire tree down all at once. Now instead, I'm rooting around up here in the leaves, trying to find every single piece, and I'm gonna miss one, and then it's just gonna be floating there taunting me forever. I think that should be good. There's still a whole lot of despawning that needs to happen, but the area is relatively cleared out. And I swear, guys, I don't hate nature. It's a coincidence, an unfortunate coincidence, that every single video so far has started with me destroying an entire forest. But now, if I haven't already done enough damage to the natural landscape, I need to do some terraforming because it's not really level over here. I gotta clear stuff out, which means it's time to use my third tool, which is the netherite shovel. It's like being in creative mode. This is so much nicer than before. Watch this efficiency right here. I'll help out. Boom. Except now I have to repair this entire area. Now it's finally time to do some building, and I've gathered a whole ton of random building blocks in these two chests here, mainly because I don't really know what I'm trying to build, but I know that I need to build something, so I'm probably just gonna wing it and see what happens. I can't believe I just spent so long clearing out this entire area, and then I just placed back down almost every single piece of dirt that I picked up, just in a slightly different way. That's probably one of the dumber things that I've done, but I swear there's a reason. You just probably can't see it yet. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I'm trying to map out where I want the build to go, and I got to deal with these guys now? They literally don't do any damage to me with my gear on, but it's so annoying. Well, this is definitely something, but there's still a lot of work I need to do. Are you kidding me? The debuff from the first one isn't even gone yet, and there's another group there. How does that even happen? Well, it's starting to look a lot better, but I think I can improve it even more with just a few details. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think it's looking pretty great now, at least compared to what it started as. I'd say the hardest part is over. Now I just need to make the actual iron factory. I think the first most important thing is going to be clearing out all this dirt and getting some room to work with. Well, this is a little bit better, but now I have to fix the walls because I didn't really think about that, and I need to put in some floors. You know, I also really need to make like a garbage chute because I do not know what I'm going to do with all this dirt. And problem solved. You see, this is the problem with having the Fulbright mod. It's really nice for recording, and then I almost jump right down into this. Nah, who am I kidding? I'm reckless. Once I get all the floors down, though, I really need to light this place up, because I'm not letting mobs spawn everywhere. It's not happening. Okay, the floors are in, the walls are fixed, and now I can finally get into the technical stuff. The first thing I'm going to need is some kind of rotational power. And for the first time ever, I am going to be making a steam engine instead of just using water wheels. So I'm going to need some blaze burners and a bunch of fluid tanks, and then the steam engines on the side. And finally, I can't forget the shafts to actually get the rotational power from them. Now I just need to generate some lava so I can keep the blaze burners fueled to keep the boiler heated. I'm not totally sure the exact ratio, but I feel like 6 cauldrons should be enough. Then I just need some block for the dripstone to hang from, the actual dripstone itself, which looks pretty good with granite. And then the lava's obviously going to go here, but I'm going to try something new and use copycat panels to encase it so that it looks a little bit nicer. And I'm pretty sure I forgot the glass. Yep, I don't even have the block that I want to use with these. That seems about right. Oh my gosh, why is it that... Oh, no! He wasn't even looking at me. I could have just walked by. I didn't need to hit him. And now I should be good to just put all the lava buckets in here. Oh, and one of them has already filled up. That's a good sign because I'm hoping that 6 of these will be enough to keep 4 of these running. I'm not sure. I might need to expand it, but I'm really hoping. So now if I just hook up fluid pipes under all of these, I should be good to pump it out into a spout. I really just need to figure out where I want the spout and depot and then eventual mechanical arm to go. I feel like maybe to start out, I do depot here, spout right above that, and then mechanical arm over here. And then if I put the mechanical pump here, this should connect to the mechanical arm, and I can run the rest of the pipes right up there, and that leaves me a little bit of room to expand in case I ever want to do a 4x2 instead of a 3x2. But now I need to do all the inputs and outputs, so I'm going to have it that only empty buckets can be input onto the depot, and then I just need to remove the lower level of the boiler, pick up the mechanical arm again, and set this so that it's outputting to all the blaze burners, also outputting to the brass funnel, and picking up from the depot. And I can just place these back down, and once there's water coming into this, it should be good to go. And you know what? Because it's so close, I'm actually just going to use the river out here to get water into the boiler. And I think this should be good to just pull right from here indefinitely. Okay, everything should be extremely crudely hooked up with a super messy setup for the rotational power, but it should be enough to try this out. So if I just fill all of these buckets with water, I should be able to manually put water into the boiler, and I need to make this all look way nicer with a ton of andesite casing and fixing the walls, but the most important part is that the boiler works, so please. Oh my god, it's occurring to me now that I can only fill this using a bucket when I'm testing stuff in creative. Oh my god, I need to go get a hand crank. Luckily, I have saved this all the way since the first episode because I knew that eventually I would need this again. Wait, is it finally working in there? Do I hear it working? Oh my gosh, it's finally working. The only thing is this needs to get about twice as much water, which means this needs to be a large cogwheel going into the small one to double it. There we go. That's better. Now it's a level 4. But now it's time to make the cobblestone generator, and I'm thinking I'm going to put it right over here, and I should have everything in my inventory to make the clever use of game mechanics cobblestone generator that I made last time. First I do the item vaults, then the andesite funnels, then the trap doors, a whole bunch of mechanical pumps, and finally the fluid tanks. Everything should be good to go here. Now I just need to do the really boring stuff like filling the fluid tanks with lava lava, filling all the pump area with water, encasing the entire thing, and then building the gantry carriage system that makes it go left to right to left to right, which breaks the cobblestone and makes more of it. So, you know, pretty much all the really important stuff to make it work still needs to get done. Okay, well, all the annoying stuff is done. I just need to eventually put the copycat panels to probably glass. I think I'm going to do glass for those again, but if I put this vertical gearbox down right here, it should start working. So it's working. Yes, so this works, which means now I have as much cobblestone as I need to feed into an eventual crushing wheel setup over here. Although I don't really know what I'm going to do with this whole situation. I guess I disconnect this for now and maybe clean up the area around it. Thankfully, now it's time to work on the coolest part of this, which is the crushing wheel setup, and that's going to go in this area right over here, because I'm gonna have a lot of crushing wheels. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do it with 2 setups across and then maybe build it out like 5 from the back. You know, maybe I go 6 just to be safe. Eventually, every single crushing wheel setup over here is gonna be spitting out a ton of gravel, but I'm not too worried about that just yet, because first I need to worry about getting the cobblestone from over in this item vault into the top of each of these setups. And I think I'm gonna do that using a ton of chutes. I'm gonna have all the chutes come out diagonally, so they're right up against the wall, and then I'm gonna bring each one up just a little bit higher. Now I just need to get a little bit of a weird belt system going so that I can evenly distribute the cobblestone into every single one of these chutes so that it's going to every single one of these crushing wheels. I think that should be good. So this is the main belt where all the cobblestone is going to feed into. And then I just need to use a whole bunch of these brass tunnels along here so I can divvy it up. And then I'll just have a really stupid horizontal looking belt right here in the middle of the floor. Oh my God, it physically pains me to look at this. Oh, it's so bad. It's just so bad. It's so bad. Okay, I tested it. It should be fine. It looks so much better. I couldn't bring myself to do it, guys. I couldn't have the diagonal belt. I also need to get rotational power to all the crushing wheels in here too, so maybe I just do that at the same time. So they're all connected, but they're all spinning way too slow and in the wrong direction. So easy fix. I don't think I need them to go all the way to 256. That's just crazy. Maybe for the moment I bring them down to half speed. I just need to get the fan hooked up now too. And now I'm really afraid to work around these things because they'll kill me if I walk into them. There we go. So now items are going up and they should make it all the way to the top. The crushing wheels are running. So this belt and these belts need to get hooked up, and then I will be getting way too much gravel dumped out on the floor down here. Just don't step into the massive wheels of death. There we go. It doesn't even look that bad. Except these guys. You guys don't look at it. Well, let's see if it all works. Everything should be going up, should be making its way into the crushing wheels unless I mess something up. And then gravel should end up down here in a really quick second, please. Oh my gosh, wait, these are all spinning the wrong way. I mean, it's fixable with 2 gearboxes. It's really basic, but how did I not realize that sooner? Now it should be working. Now I should be getting a lot of gravel. Now I've got a ton of gravel down here, which is great, and everything's working. I just need to reconnect this by putting this gearbox right here. My main goal when dealing with the gravel and the washing in general is going to be to do all of it with the entities actually sitting on the floor like they are right now. So I think I'm going to move these with water streams that run under all the crushing wheels on both sides, and then wash it in one central location, like somewhere over here. I've got the water streams and these should work fine, but now I'm trying to figure out where I want to put the encased fan over here, since it's going to probably blow from somewhere over here to push everything into one spot over here. This is getting super convoluted over here, but I think it should work. The water streams are going to wash all the gravel down here right up to where the trap door is. The encased fan is going to be blowing the items from over here all the way across, and when the items get here, they're going to get washed because the encased fan doesn't get blocked by the trap doors. And finally, I think the items should be able to make their way under this brass funnel right here, which will have a filter for iron nuggets, only letting iron nuggets up into the chest, and then I'm going to put a smart chute down there that's going to drop the flint that gets washed down into lava. Eventually I might use it, but not right now. Once I set a filter, this should work. It's just really, really weird and messed up. So lava here, smart chute here, flint for the filter, and iron nuggets for the filter up here. When I hook this thing up, if everything's gonna work properly, this should fill up completely full of iron nuggets pretty darn fast. I just need to flip this one lever. This rate isn't too bad. I feel like it could be a little bit better, but that's not too bad. You know, I'm now realizing that I might be able to just get rid of the chest entirely and instead have this funnel going onto a belt right here. And this belt is then going to input them into these chutes, which are also going to blow the items upstairs. I'm just going to need another fan down here and a brass funnel right over here. It's starting to get real messy and crowded down here, but this should work. I got the rotational power properly hooked up, so this fan is pushing items upward now. This belt is carrying them over, and it should be going fast enough. Even though I don't have a filter on this, I can't filter it to be like a stack that it picks up at a time or what. At the rate at which this converts it and this is moving, there shouldn't be any delay caused by the speed. Now it's just a matter of getting stuff hooked up here. So the final piece of the puzzle up here, or pieces I should say, will be eventually an item vault over here to store all the iron, and then a bunch of basin and mechanical press right here to press it into ingots and then probably into blocks. But I think I'm going to work backwards and set up the item vault first, just so I can try and properly space everything else out. With the item vault there, I'm probably going to want a belt system running along the front like this maybe, that's collecting all the items that are coming out of the basin to go into the vault. And that would mean that the basin would go along like that, and then all the mechanical presses would line the top like this. That doesn't look too bad. I just need to make sure that all of these actually get used, because if they're all running at the same time, it'll look super cool. But if only one of these is running, then it's gonna look kind of lame. Then I'm just gonna need to run a belt system in the back here to dump all of the iron nuggets into each one of the basin. And I'm gonna need a whole lot of brass funnels to put into each one of these. And other than hooking up the rotational power, I think a little belt system right here, and then a brass funnel coming off of this, and finally a spruce trap door to make sure items don't fly out the top, should be enough to get everything here situated. There actually is one other thing that I need to do before I set up all the rotational power up here, which I'm sure is going to be a pain, so I'm not procrastinating, I promise, but I do need to set up filters that have both iron ingots and iron blocks, because I need the basin to be able to make both of them, but I can't let them make whatever they want, because I'm pretty sure they will then make iron trap doors, and that's going to be a huge waste. And yes, I know that I don't need to have these brass funnels on the front here, and I also know that it's going to be a huge waste because I need to also put item filters for these as well, but I think they look way nicer, so I'm gonna put them there anyway, even though it's a waste. I get it. Hooking up the rotational power up here was so easy. What? It's gotta be because the back belt and the front belt don't have to be aligned, which makes it easier than it would normally be. So all I want is to be able to check now that everything is hooked up and at least doesn't look totally awful, that it all works. So if I go downstairs and flick on the cobblestone generator, I should eventually end up with iron blocks up there. If in a minute I see a bunch of iron blocks coming out of here, then I'm happy. You know, it is working, so I should consider that a win. My ears are dying listening to that down there, but I will say that the rate is not exactly what I want it to be, so I'm probably going to increase the size of the cobblestone generator down there, and then try and make everything look a little bit nicer in here and figure out what I'm doing with this staircase over here. Now to deal with this whole mess up here. I gotta say, I think it turned out pretty nice, at least up here it did. I tried to make the area look nice and cozy, added lighting that isn't torches, and I even put down a display board to show how many iron ingots I have in the item vault. I do have a concern that this is going to produce so many that this is going to end up being 5 digits, and I'm not sure what happens when it hits 5 digits, so I kind of want to find out. I didn't end up doing anything down here to make it look fancier, but that's just because I think all the create stuff looks really cool on its own, and nothing down here is really messy. Now I think the only thing left to do is flick this lever and see just how much iron per hour this whole thing can generate. Well, it's officially been 1 hour since I turned on the cobblestone generator down there, and the final total is about 6,300. There's still a little bit of cobble going through the system. All things considered, this system basically produces 100 iron ingots a minute, which is absolutely crazy. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say I'm never gonna run out of iron again.